In the heart of ancient Jerusalem, the streets teemed with life. A vibrant tapestry of merchants, pilgrims, and residents moving through the sun-drenched corridors of the city. Amidst this constant flow of humanity, a man sat by the roadside, a familiar fixture in the daily landscape. He had been blind from birth, his world a permanent darkness, his days spent begging for alms from those who passed by. As Jesus and his disciples walked along this very path, their conversation was interrupted by the sight of the man. One of the disciples, filled with the certainty of the age, turned to Jesus and asked, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" The question hung in the air, a reflection of a common belief that suffering was a direct consequence of sin. Jesus looked upon the man, his gaze filled not with judgment but with profound purpose. He answered his disciples, his voice cutting through the noise of the street. It was not that this man sinned, or his parents, but that the works of God might be displayed in him. With these words, he shifted the focus from the past to the present, from blame to divine opportunity. He then bent down, spat on the dusty ground, and mixed the saliva with the earth to form a simple mud. Gently he approached the blind man and anointed his sightless eyes with the clay. He then gave a command, a simple instruction that held the key to a new reality. Go, wash in the Pool of Siloam. Trusting in the stranger's words, the blind man was led away by a companion, making his way through the city toward the fabled pool. He reached the edge of the Pool of Siloam, the sound of water a gentle promise in his ears. He knelt and cupped the cool liquid in his hands, bringing it to his face to wash away the mud as instructed. As the gritty clay dissolved and streamed down his cheeks, a flicker of light pierced his lifelong darkness. Then, a torrent of shapes, colors, and sensations flooded his consciousness. His eyes, once useless orbs, were now open. He could see. He stared in utter amazement at his own hands, turning them over and over as if they were alien objects. He gazed at the shimmering surface of the water and then lifted his face to the vast blue expanse of the sky. An overwhelming wave of joy and disbelief crashed over him, and he leaped to his feet, shouting in pure, unadulterated ecstasy. When the man returned to his neighborhood, his steps now confident and his eyes wide with wonder, those who knew him were thrown into a state of confusion and astonishment. The neighbors and those who had only ever seen him as a beggar huddled together, whispering amongst themselves, "Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?" they asked. Some were certain it was him, while others, unable to reconcile the man they saw with the man they knew, insisted it only looked like him. The man himself ended their debate, declaring, "I am the man." His testimony, however, only led to more questions and ultimately brought him before the Pharisees, the religious authorities who were deeply unsettled by this inexplicable event. They interrogated him, demanding to know how he had received his sight. The man recounted the simple, yet unbelievable story. A man named Jesus made mud, put it on his eyes, and told him to wash. The Pharisees were immediately divided. Some argued forcefully that Jesus could not be from God, for he had performed this healing on the Sabbath, a violation of their sacred law. Others countered, "How can a man who is a sinner perform such signs?" Their investigation extended to the man's parents, who were summoned to confirm his identity and his condition from birth. Gripped by fear of being ostracized by the synagogue, they affirmed that he was their son and that he was born blind, but they refused to say how he was healed, cautiously stating, "He is of age, ask him." Frustrated by the unwavering testimony of the man, who boldly defended Jesus as a prophet, the Pharisees cast him out of the synagogue, officially shunning him from the community. Alone and rejected, the man was soon found by the very person who had started it all. Jesus approached him and asked a question that pierced deeper than any before it. "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man, his heart already opened by a miracle, replied earnestly, "And who is he, sir, that I may believe in him?" Jesus looked at him, his face filled with a divine light, and revealed, "You have seen him, and it is he who is speaking to you." In that moment, the man's physical sight gave way to spiritual insight. He fell to his knees, his face a portrait of profound gratitude and unwavering faith, and worshipped him. The light of the world had not only opened his eyes, but had also illuminated his soul.